Hello, and welcome to the first official part of my series for which I still don't have a name. Today, I'm going to talk about the 4 classes that I'm in this semester. Okay, let's start with the film class. The class was titled in the catalog as Western European Film. This was a lie. I got to the class, and it turned out that it was being taught by a traveling Polish scholar. He's perfectly nice, but the class isn't at all what it looked like it was supposed to be on the thing. Instead, when he gave us the syllabus, it was titled Polish Culture Through Film. Now, this sounded interesting. I was cool with knowing random little details about a random country in the middle of what is admittedly Eastern Europe, not Western Europe. And the first half of the class was about contemporary Polish culture through film. But what's really irritating me is that halfway through the class, he just switched tracks. Even though the class is titled Polish Culture Through Film, no! The entire second half of this semester, we are doing Polish history through film. I went from a Western European film class to a Polish history through film class. The films themselves are pretty interesting, some of them. Others were just bad, and one of them was actually so gruesome that I had to leave and then not come back for a week. Overall, this class is kind of a disappointment, but I'm holding out judgment until the end of the semester. Next, Calculus 1. Unfortunately, I'm in this class again. I took it last year as Calc AB at my high school. But when I went to the college, they wouldn't accept that credit because it wasn't an AP class. So after taking a 3-hour placement test, which I thought was supposed to place me into Calculus 2, I got placed back into Calculus 1, and so now I'm taking the class again. It is dead boring. I'm learning things that I already know, so basically what I do is all of the homework is online, and it's available pretty early on, so I just go on the website, fill out all the homework weeks in advance, and then take the quizzes and tests as they come. And I usually get between 97 and 100% without even studying. So it's an easy class, it's an easy A, and it's gonna go well into my GPA. And I wouldn't mind it so much, except the professor, oh my gosh. Some days she doesn't show up. She's better at it now. But for the entire first half of the semester, half the time she didn't show up until almost 15 minutes after class was supposed to start, and then a few times she didn't show up at all, so we all had to leave. And this was after I spent an hour commuting there at 8 in the morning to get there in time for her class. It was really frustrating. But I mean, this refresher is good. I wasn't so confident in Calculus 1 at the end of last year. So I guess it's good that I'll be going into whatever I do next, be it Stats or Calculus 2, with a stronger foundation and background. So, I guess it's good that I'm in this class. English 102. It's the highest level of the mandatory 3 English classes that you could take, 100, 101, and 102. I tested into 102 with my SAT scores. Obviously, all of my classmates are older than me, but I think that they're older than freshmen too. It's kind of confusing. I like it though. It's nice being in that atmosphere because everyone's more mature than my previous classmates. Although sometimes it doesn't show much. But for the most part, my classmates are nice, intelligent, and fun to debate with. This is the first time I've really had a huge challenge in an English class. I've never done this style of writing before. It's argumentative synthesis and explanatory synthesis and these things that I've never had to do. Because mostly in high school you either write explanatory or persuasive, and that's basically it. So it's nice developing these skills that I never had before. Even though it's a challenge though, I'm still excelling in it and it's really nice. 2 of my 3 essays that I've turned in so far have been A's and the other one was a B+. And now the last 2 essays that we're doing, well, one is more of an outline for the second. I got to pick my own topic and it's argumentative, so I get to use my own opinions and other people's sources, and it's whatever topic I want. Naturally, I chose transgender issues. Specifically, I decided to go with the argument of whether transgender people should be allowed to use bathrooms of their gender identity. Needless to say, my answer is yes. I just love being able to write things that I'm passionate about. And that's happening so much in this English class, it's great. And my final class, Comparative Politics. I have to say, I never thought I'd be interested in politics before. I thought it was the kind of thing I'd want to stay far away from. But actually, at least in theory, it's really interesting to study. I could go on for hours about all of the fascinating micro differences between all of the different kinds of governments, be they democracy or authoritarian, real or not real. But ever since I started this class, I've been drawing more real-world comparisons to the things I'm studying in this class. You should see me get going when I'm arguing about the effectiveness of group leadership. The class takes an interesting format where, in class, he gives us basic overviews of various countries that he picked out himself, their political system and their political economy. And then when at home during the readings, we're supposed to read these chapters in a textbook that give us tools for how to compare them, using description terms like democracy and free market. And we put them all together in our essays and tests. There are 2 tests throughout the year, plus a final exam at the end. And then there's also 4 essays called case studies, where he gave us 8 topics to choose from, and we're supposed to pick 4 and turn them in. It's an interesting thing that we're supposed to do, where we take this topic, usually it's about comparing 2 different concepts, and we're supposed to write 2 or 3 pages using the textbook and our own thoughts. I keep getting A's on them too, it's nice. I'm doing really well in this class too. I love it. I don't know if I want to be a political scientist, but I definitely want to keep studying politics. Overall, I'd say I'm really enjoying this semester. Even if 1 or 2 of my classes aren't the greatest, I'm still having a really good time, and this experience is amazing. It's great to start integrating into this college atmosphere and get to know just what I'm gonna need to know in my future. And that's about it! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will love you forever and ever. Come back in 2 weeks on November 21st to hear all about what a typical day is like down at the university. Thank you for watching! Bye!